Hello everyone, how are you? Uh, According to my pre-tests, I think my sound is okay. But if you can, please confirm, guys. Let me know if my sound is okay. I did something wrong here because I was supposed to to present an intro and it didn't show up. I'm kind of blind, so I'm gonna use my glasses here. So, thank you, Christopher, for that. So we have Christopher from Australia. How are you, Christopher? How's the weather in Australia? Here is crap. As you know, I was in Colombia. I was on vacations, and the weather was awesome there. I came back, and yeah, the whole day is dark, cold, so kind of depressing a little bit. Hot, that's cool, man. That's cool. Well, not too hot. I hate too hot, but at the same time, I hate too cold. So today, I wanted to talk about a theory that I was reading in Reddit. Hey, what's up? Hey, I don't know what's going on with the handles here, but I cannot see your names as they were usually presented. So JL7804. I really don't know who you are. Maybe Kelt. Sorry for that. I recognize Christopher Toffer, but I don't know why YouTube changed the handles. So Jer, okay. Thank you, Jer, for that. Guys, if you want to comment something, please put your name because with these changes, I maybe not. I'm not gonna be able to recognize you guys. So, anyways, thank you for being here, all of you. So I was in Reddit reading stuff about Delphi, old stuff, and I found a theory that was presented by Tobor. If you remember well, maybe you know more than me. Tobor is the guy from. His name is Paul. He was part of the unraveling with I think it's Angela and Carney. I think is the name of the other girl. Uh, that channel was super pro Allen, let's say, and for a reason I don't remember why he changed his mind. He became like pro prosecution, or let's say I don't know if pro prosecution, but he changed his mind. He believes now that Richard Allen is guilty. That's what I remember, and the channel was finished because of that. Maybe I'm not telling the story as it is, but anyways, there was like a mini drama in that channel, and anyways, but that's not the purpose of here. This is the what I want to do today is to present a theory he wrote in Reddit. Um, I found the theory fun to read. The idea is not to validate his theory. The idea is not to debunk his theory at all. It's just to present his theory because I found it interesting, and because of that, I want to. What I did is I made a short video using the text he wrote in Reddit. Uh, I don't agree with all of the elements in the theory. Maybe I can say that I agree with some of them, but in general, I don't agree with his theory. But I think it's an interesting theory, and in general I like to listen to people in both sides because, as you know, I think that we don't have the answers yet. So maybe we can find some clues in the different theories that are presented like all over the place here in this Delphi community. So again, the objective is not uh, the real Kate. You like to stir up shit for clicks. Okay, maybe I like that. Good. Thank you for your comment. I wish you the best. The real Kate. Oh, you should be a very beautiful woman. So I wish you I wish you the best, and I hope you had a nice. What was the holiday yesterday? I forgot. Here in Canada is not the same as in US, so I forgot. Thanksgiving's Day. So, anyways, you are on very thin ice. What are the crypts of Delphi so interesting to you? Ah, are you one of the crypts here, or what? What is your purpose here today or tonight? Uh, you're acting like a weirdo, but anyways, weirdos are everywhere here in this community. So uh, I guess you are one of them. So uh, Rebecca, how are you, Rebecca? Happy to see you here. Michelle, I love the response to real Kate, to the beautiful real Kate, of course. Beautiful woman, elegant woman, a princess here. So princesses are welcome here. So again, the idea is to show the or to present this theory, and again, is not to validate it, is not to debunk it. So this is a video of about 7 minutes. I'm not gonna talk during the 7 minutes, and I'm gonna see what is your opinion about the video I made using Tobor's um text, Tobor's theory, let's say. So let's uh, let's watch it, and we're gonna talk after the video to see what are your theories here, your opinions. So let's do it. Keen to see. Thank you, Toffer. So let's play it. No more protocol. I'm gonna mute myself. The video is 7 minutes. The images are mostly mine. I used a couple of pictures he posted in his Reddit post, and as I told you guys, I found a couple of interesting things. I don't agree with all of the elements that were presented there, but I think that there are a couple of interesting things there. So let's do it.
Another point of contention with the Delphi murders when trying to make sense of the way the crime flow occurred is conceptualizing from the killer's vantage point why one thing may have happened to the next thing. Of course, we never will know for certain, but most people don't actually bother trying to put themselves in the shoes of the killer because it feels gross. I get it, but if you want to understand what happened, you have to at least try. So yes, it was organized up to a degree, but then shit got real once the plan was set in motion and all hell broke loose. It's like Mike Tyson once said, everyone has a plan to win a fight until they get punched in the face. Richard Allen most likely chose the end of the trails where the north portion of Monon High Bridge begins, where Blair turns a roundish area, to ambush an unsuspecting female jogger and force her at gunpoint back along the footpath. When he got there just before 2 p.m. on Monday, February 13th, 2017, and he saw nobody, he went back to retreat towards the footpath out of plain sight, where you can easily peer out at the bridge and clearly visualize someone crossing, as rare as that was. This is actually me crossing the bridge the first time ever as my wife snapped a picture from the vantage point, back along the footpath for reference. To Alan's surprise that day, he eventually saw two young, unsuspecting girls crossing. Everyone forgets that most never cross the bridge, per Doug Rice. There was no way to know if someone would cross. I'm not sure if Rice is also implying that perhaps BG knew the girls would cross in advance here as in they were lured. If that's what he means, I disagree. Even if that was part of his theory, never seen him say that. Just because they crossed and BG followed, that does not necessitate in any way that BG had advanced knowledge the girls planned to cross. So to me, it doesn't make sense that Alan's original plan was to follow someone back across the bridge to the south end. Most people walk to the edge of the trail on the north end right where the gravel, at the time, now paved, trail ends and bridge begins as they just would stare out at the bridge in awe. This was most likely the main appeal to Alan in terms of why he chose the Monon High Bridge as the place to carry out his sick plan to begin with. The first time I had ever gone to the trails in 2021, as I walked the 501 and the bridge first came into focus. This is what I happened upon. Feel free to laugh at the Photoshop peoples because they are probably not to scale. But you get the idea. There were four unsuspecting parkgoers there with their backs to the trails, just gazing out at the open bridge. See the footpath there off to the left. Anyway, Alan sees Abby and Libby crossing, and he thinks, oh boy, even better. I can probably trap them on the south side once they make it across. As he emerges from the footpath and makes his way across from the north portion of Monon High Bridge. This is where the organized aspect of the murders ends and the inevitable disorganized chaos begins. The reason why this is the most satisfactory explanation for this should be obvious. It all becomes a disorganized mess at this juncture, because at the end of the day, everything considered, you couldn't have predicted what would happen next. Not you, not drunk Alan, not anyone. Add in the fact this all transpired outside, on a Monday afternoon in broad daylight, in plain view of the homes along the private drive. I mean, what are the odds nobody would see something? It's almost unfathomable. Go look back at my Reddit posts from 2021, and I say exactly this. Who would even have the balls to think they could pull this off without being seen? Enter Brad Weber blaring Metallica on his way home from work in his white van ripping down the private drive. And no, I don't know Weber was blaring Metallica, but it's always how I've imagined that playing out that day. It was a really dumb idea for Alan to try and pull that off because he was almost seen just like I always questioned. But my guess is that decision was rooted in Alan being heavily intoxicated, and seeing Weber made him start to sober up real quick. On a side note here, and please don't mistake what I am about to say because Libby recording Alan on her cell, no matter what anyone says, was an act of courage. That's self-evident. Nobody can ever take away the fact that she helped solve her own murder and the murder of her best friend, period. But I actually would argue that the exact reason the girls didn't dart off when they saw Rick Allen coming is because they were not afraid. They were not suspicious of Allen from a distance. This seems counterintuitive because you would presume that two young girls would begin to worry as an adult male was making a direct beeline towards them, inching closer and closer. So why didn't their stranger danger senses trigger? The clear as day answer to me is that they simply didn't see Allen as an imposing threat. Why? Because he's a short-statured man, barely taller than Libby herself. They probably thought, this guy is harmless. Now, one rare instance where I do half agree with Bob Motta on something is when he says that Rick Allen being vertically challenged is a defining feature for him. I agree. So why didn't Carbo or Blair use short as a descriptor for the person they saw? I can't answer that, but if I had to guess, it's maybe because for whatever reason they didn't consider him short from their perspective. Maybe it's just a matter of the simple fact that one observer's idea of what constitutes short for a male is not the same as someone else's. I've seen a lot of people try to insist that it was never suggested that BG was short anywhere until Allen was arrested. This simply isn't true. What is true is that when people first see the bridge guy footage from Libby's phone and they learn that he's moments away from killing the girls, they tend to automatically assume he's this imposing figure and thus, at least around 6 ft tall. It's disingenuous to claim that nobody ever questioned if BG was short. The reason I asked this to begin with is for exactly that reason. I was starting to wonder if the reason BG had not been apprehended is because people are not taking something like height, or lack thereof, into consideration. Oh, look, there's also me back in 2022, months prior to Rick Allen's arrest, asking this very question. So if everyone was so shocked about Allen's short height after he was arrested, how did I just randomly think of this? I mean, what are the odds? Is it because I was colluding with the state to plant some early seeds in people's minds and thereby help lay the foundation to ultimately frame Rick Allen? The answer is, of course, yes. And jure, you still owe me a check for all the work I've done post-conviction. The reason I actually knew that Bridge Guy very well could have been considered short is because Doug Rice said that is what he was told. That was out in the Delphi ethos as early as 2019, so it's simply not true that BG was never described as short. He was. Now where Doug gets that from and why, I still consider that valid, aside from the fact that the odds of him just making that up out of thin air when everyone assumed BG was 6 ft tall is a different thread all its own for another day.
So that was the video. Very short, 7 minutes. I'm gonna come back to your comments, guys. I think the post or the theory he presented is not disrespectful to anyone. He presented his theory. He was not talking shit about anyone. He was just presenting his theory. I think it's an interesting theory. I don't necessarily agree with some of the elements that were presented there. Some of them I think are kind of yes. Sorry, I was checking if my audio was up. Um, some of them I think are interesting, like this geographical, if we can call it like that, aspect of the whole area near to the bridge. In one of my previous videos, like maybe 1 year ago or something like that, if you remember, one of my theories is that the girls were abducted or kidnapped in this way. So that this guy he came back with the girls and conducted the girls toward the crime site using this path. Just a theory, but anyways, just food for discussion. So this is one of the elements I found interesting. I like the picture he took when he was there. Let me go there for 1 second. So this is Paul, and here is his wife taking the picture. So we can see how in this path you can have a very good visibility of the bridge. So it's highly possible. It's a good theory that bridge guy was hiding here in this area of the vicinity, let's say, of the bridge. So I think it's a good picture to have a little bit of a perspective of the area. So I liked it. This was the main element I liked. So the picture, the theory of the bridge guy being potentially hiding here. Remember that there's a lot of talk about How so? We can see at 2:07 p.m. we can see Abby on the bridge, but we don't see anyone behind Abby, right? Well, that could be an explanation. There are multiple explanations, but maybe he was hiding here in this area. Uh, the theory is interesting. One thing that he doesn't explain is why, in this theory, he believes that the guy is Richard Allen. So maybe he explained that in another post or in another video he made. I don't know. But, anyways, I'm gonna read your comments. This was just food for discussion with you guys. Again, the idea was just to present the theory. To the idea was not to validate it or not to debunk it, just to see what do you think about it, guys. So let me scroll down. I'm gonna go to your comments. I didn't know what the falling out was on that channel. Me neither. I don't know. I think it was something related to. Anyways, for some reason, he changed his mind about the innocence or lack of innocence of Richard Allen. And there was something related to some texts in the group. I don't know. I really don't know. He was in the murder sheet podcast explaining that. I really don't remember what was that drama situation, but the channel was finished because of that, if I recall properly. Let me scroll down here. So Shibi, oh, by the way, I'm gonna, if someone wants to call, I'm gonna drop the link and we can talk. So the link is here. If someone wants to call Shivi or someone in the chat, you are welcome. Let me scroll down a little bit. This is a great comment, Michelle. How do we know anyone was drunk? We don't know. I agree with you. We don't know. And especially if the one of the elements that people thinking that Richard Allen is involved in this case is that he was drunk when committing the crime. And remember that he was supposed to have 3 beers. So if he was an actual alcoholic, you're not gonna get drunk uh, with 3 beers for real. I drink 3 beers and I'm like no effect for real. Imagine an alcoholic. I don't know, or maybe that's my problem because I drink and I don't get drunk. But I don't think that if someone is alcoholic, he's gonna get drunk with 3 beers. Now they're gonna come back saying, "Ah, how do you know that these 3 beers?" Well, that's the story the state was selling. Maybe there were 6 beers, or maybe he had a bottle of whiskey. I don't know. But the story the state was selling is that he had 3 beers. And again, with 3 beers, you're not gonna get drunk, especially if you have a history of alcoholism. So I agree with you. It doesn't add up, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with Shib. The first time I was there was 2017, and I don't remember that path so gravely. You could see people through the trees for a long way, though. Interesting, Jar. If you want to call and tell us how was your experience there, uh, that's gonna be cool for us to know a little bit more about that. But I can talk with the material I have. You know what I mean? So I have this picture from him, and I think it's a very interesting picture. Uh, so the visibility is great. We know that during winter there's not a lot of leaves on the trees, and oh, Shibi's here. Hey, how are you, Shibi? Uh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm
Thank you for
great, thanks.
calling.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Can you hear me well?
I hear you perfectly.
Cool, cool, man. Uh, how's your channel doing, man? You're doing a lot of videos, a lot of hours
I'm doing
lately.
a lot of reading. That's all I'm good for is reading.
You're a reader.
Yes.
Cool, man. Happy,
If
happy
I
to have
get
you.
if I get too far off script, I may get myself in trouble. So I try to read and make one or two jokes and then carry on.
Awesome, awesome, man. Uh, what do you think about this video?
um
What are your
well, I
thoughts?
I'm not a big fan of the that one picture of Richard Allen, that big when they make the face and all that, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
No, no, no.
But
Yeah, I know.
again, with the whole a if you're going to plan this at all, you're not parking that far away, and b I've always thought that if somebody's doing this, why are they a leaving a phone there, and b walking past right up the street in the middle of the daytime when they could have taken walked right up the creek. They could have walked right up the pathway. They could have walked between the pathway and the road up through the tree line. And then somebody says that they're running around Harbor Store around back to avoid cameras. That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. W- Sorry, I forgot the first point here. I wanted to say something about it. And the first thing you
Ooh,
said.
I don't even remember. Was it
Ah, fuck.
parking that
No,
far?
before the parking.
Ooh,
Ah, shit. I forgot.
walking up the creek,
I,
walking up
I
the
don't
pathway.
I don't remember. Anyways,
Mhm,
but let's say about
mhm,
yeah, about the parking area. I agree
mhm.
with you. To me, if we observe or if we how can we say study the area, the perfect way to escape or to go to the crime site, in my opinion, is via the cemetery. And
Yes, yes.
yeah, 100%, I agree with you. I think that something happened in that cemetery, and I know this is confirmation bias, but we know that Keegan Klein, he confessed that he drove to the cemetery with someone else, likely Tony Klein, according to that statement. That sadly we don't have that transcript, we don't have that videotape material. We just have the words under oath uh, of David Vido explaining that situation. Also, a couple of words from Jerry Holman. But the information is that Keegan confessed of driving to the cemetery. And
Mhm.
that's the perfect way to, I don't know, in my opinion, to go to the crime site and to escape. And I agree with you. It doesn't make sense for a killer if this was pre-planned to park so far from the bridge. That's a great point.
Also, with the Keegan stuff, how they lose all the video. But forget that. Jerry Holman, did you read Jerry Holman's deposition where he says that the person, Richard Allen, was a- scared off by searchers and not a van?
Who said that? Jerry Holman
Jerry Holman, yes, in his deposition.
in his deposition. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that, but I believe you as you were reading the depositions,
Dude, it says
and
it right in there.
we know that there are major gaps in the timeline of the state. I think we know uh, well what happened until the girls went to the bridge, but what happened after that video taken by Libby's phone, I don't think we know too much for real. So
Oh,
What?
plus, can I
Yeah,
say
go
one
ahead.
thing with the short? Like seriously, a 5'4" man. If any of those three witnesses saw Richard Allen, they would emphasize short. If you saw him from like a football field, like from picture side to side, looking across a football field. If you saw a short guy, Richard Allen, for anywhere within that distance, or walked past him, you immediately would, if somebody came and asked you about him, you would say short. They would emphasize short immediately. Be your first words, in my opinion. And the fact that not even one of them said it is couldn't have been Richard Allen. Couldn't have been.
I agree with you. Is the main characteristic of Richard Allen being short, and the
Right.
explanation that was one of the points I wanted to argue against the theory of Tobor. He said that the let's say, what's the name of this, the girl who said Muddy and Bloody, I forgot her name, Sarah Corbo,
Oh yeah, Sarah
that
Carball.
she didn't mention British guy being short, maybe because that was something related to the perspective. Come on, no one is gonna believe that. with the size, with the size
Right.
of Richard Allen, there's no perspective in the conversation for real. He's
Uh,
short. He's a short
plus,
guy. You can be in the worst perspective ever, and you're gonna describe that guy as a short guy. So trying to defend that aspect using the perspective element, I don't buy that at all.
plus, while we're on Sarah Carball, she never said bloody. She never said it in her first statement. Go back and look at it.
Yeah,
She said tan coat and looked like he was maybe disheveled or in a fight or tussled. Liggett added blue coat because, hey, BG, the video had a blue coat. So she must have been wrong saying tan. So he changed it to blue, and then he inferred, meaning he believed that since she said he looked like he was in a fight, there must have been blood. So he added that in the PCA. She never mentioned it until her second or third or whatever fourth interviews and at trial.
no, I agree. A lot of elements were like twisted
Yeah.
by law enforcement to force to fit their narrative. I agree 100%. But on the other side, I have to tell him to give him a point when he said that some people referred to this guy as being short, as this guy Doug
Well,
Rice
sure.
at the beginning. So maybe it's not super relevant, but we hear often in this community that, oh, after the arrest of Richard Allen, that's when everyone started to talk about that short guy and not before, which is not true. It's like the same thing with the van. Uh, People talking about that short guy, that was said before the arrest of Richard Allen, and people talking
Right.
about the van, that was said also before the arrest of Richard Allen. So just trying to be a
Well,
little bit fair here. You know what I mean?
if right. First of all, when did that Doug Rice say about the short thing, and how soon after?
It was really soon. It was at the time there was a meeting with I don't know if you remember Julie Melvin, Hannah
Yep.
Shakespeare,
Yep.
and that group. And I think there's a video. I think it's Musi Dong who posted that video online, and all of them are talking about the
Right.
witnesses and stuff like that. And I think it was about that time when he was uh, talking about British guy being short.
Right. Was it the recording where somebody made a recording of Hannah Shakespeare and Julie talking while they were making the documentary, maybe even at the Patty household?
I,
And
I
there's a
think
tape of something,
I think so.
a recording of them just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a video. It's just the audio we
Yes.
have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, I guess if everybody says everything, somebody's eventually going to be right. But I mean,
Exactly.
not many people were saying short. I don't recall. So
I agree with you. And one of the things I always say here, there are a couple of content creators. They have like 10,000 theories. At one point, one of his theories is going to be right, you know.
Right,
So,
right.
and
Like-
it's fine to explore the different angles of this crime. Let's say I'm fine with that. But some people are just bragging because I was right about this. Of course, you bought all the tickets, and of course you're gonna buy the lottery. It's insane, and
Well-
it's the same as you were saying. At one point, some element that was discussed in the past is gonna be right. I agree with you, 100%.
Well, what would mean something to me is a couple days after, or if their description said short, if Jerry Holman went out 2 days after and said short, or Tobe Leesenby when he was on the news and saying everyone's safe, they said there's a short guy out here. Like nobody said it, nobody. So
yeah, I agree. And in that billboard, I don't remember what was the height estimation, but it wasn't that short guy at all. So
if anything, it was like 5'8". The FBI first one was like 5'8" to 6 foot or something like that, I believe.
Exactly. And when we say that the height is a crucial or a critical element here, there's something that I never understood. How so? Law enforcement, they didn't do a height estimation about this guy, and
That's another thing.
maybe they did it, and the outcome was not what they were expecting. I don't know. This case is really fishy.
Right.
So,
can I say something about the height thing there with the measurements? I believe they didn't want it because they knew it would be exculpatory for Richard, because they say it could be either 2 inches either way or 4 inches difference. I believe that they thought the guy was 6 foot, that 5'8" wouldn't help them, because we all know he's 5'4".
Sure.
So they didn't want the height analysis.
100%. Let me just answer to Hiawatha. I love Hiawatha. Sure. He's one of my favorite moderators, let's say. This is my crowd looking at things others seems to have forgotten. Thank you so much. And again, I'm gonna come back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video. I like to read different opinions. I like to hear people from the pro prosecution side and from the pro Allen side, because they have relevant points. So I don't want to be a parrot of the pro Allen side or a parrot of the pro prosecution side. I want to study the different sides of this crime, because I'm not satisfied with any answer here. We don't have the answers, and I usually find interesting elements in the different sides of this crime. The different creators, great creators in both sides, like True Crime Web, Steve. Who can say something bad about Steve? So there was a mini troll here at the beginning of the live. I hope
I saw that.
She left, but that was not the intention. You know what I mean? The intention was to put this video out there and let's talk about it. What do you think?
Well,
we agree in a lot of points. We disagree in some of them. We can talk. That's it.
Right. One thing I did notice with the very first person, they had me blocked, and I don't even know who they are. So I'm not sure if they must have been a troll or whatever.
I know who is. I know who is he, and it's a low life.
Yeah.
But whatever.
And also, I think I agree with you on the whole, whatever prosecution side or guilty or whatever anyone believes. It's kind of weird when you hear someone say, I think he's guilty, but he didn't get a fair trial. Because how could you know if he's guilty or not without a fair trial? So I hear most people say it was not a fair trial and the investigation was flawed in so many aspects. How can you consider it fair,
Yeah, how can you trust the outcome? I agree with you. However, you can speculate and you can try to, and you can, what you can do is, with the information we have, you can try to connect the dots and formulate a theory that you think, if you are able, but because not anyone is able to formulate that theory, because there are not sufficient elements, or because what you said, if if the process was not, if the due process was not
Due process.
respected, you know. But there are interesting theories here, and you can connect some dots with the, well, today is not a limited information. I think we have a lot of information today compared to
Mhm.
the initial uh, stage of this whole crime, where everything was like sealed. We didn't even know about the sticks. Everything was
Yeah.
rumors. We didn't have any type of information. Now today we have a lot. Of course, we are missing a lot of information, I know, but we have like enough information at least to try to connect some dots, let's say. um I lost my line of thinking here, but
Well, I could throw something in. With the sticks, did you hear Jerry Holman at the past Crime Con, the one in September of 2025? What he said about the sticks?
I don't remember. The sticks were talking to him or something like that.
No, 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 no. That was Holder. I'm talking about Holman. Jerry
Okay.
Holman sitting. What he said with Nick McClellan on stage with Susan Hendricks. Jerry Holman had said on stage at CrimeCon in September, a couple months ago, that not only were the sticks there to hide the girls from being seen, he said the angle of the sticks on Libby was to block her from being seen from
From Weber.
Weber's private drive.
Yeah, I remember now.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Well, I never understood people uh, saying that the sticks were placed there to conceal the bodies.
Oh my.
It's just insane. It's crazy. It, I don't know, man. And
Like imagine someone thinking that the searchers are walking around and then they would see a log, even that largest of the branches or whatever on Libby, and saying looking at that log and not looking past it to see a body. That's just absurd to think
it's
that.
absurd. I don't know, and it's just, you have just to elaborate or to study the freaking pictures. Uh,
Yeah.
you can see clearly a geometrical pattern there. So the
Oh yeah.
sticks are forming a geometrical figure. Some
Mhm.
people call it runes. Some people call it signatures. Some people call it
Well,
satanic stuff, whatever. But there's something there. There's not.
did you go on, did you
Yeah,
hear the deposition of Roland of Winters, Ryan Winters, the ISP officer?
about the sticks.
Yeah,
The one.
About Brad Holder's hand tattoo.
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't remember that statement,
well,
but I don't subscribe to the tattoo of Brad Holder
well,
being a representation of the
okay.
of the
Well,
configuration of the sticks. I
l-
really, to me, this is really far fetched.
well,
But
just
go
listen to
ahead,
this though.
tell me
Wait, wait,
about it.
wait. Well, what happened was at the very beginning, a couple months after, in July or August or whatever it was, a couple months after, do you remember when that Ryan Boucher from Georgia sent in all those screenshots of Holder's social media?
Yeah,
He
sure.
sent in, and that Ryan Winters was on light duty working in Unified Command because he had a bad back or something. He's an ISP officer. He opened that email, and when he saw that tattoo configuration on Brad Holder's hand, he flagged Brad Holder to be reassessed. He ran his name, he ran it to the up and ups, and he was alarmed because Ryan Winters, ISP officer, had previously seen the real crime scene photos, and he said it looked identical. It alarmed him so much. It looked exactly like the stick configuration on Abigail Williams. He said it,
Yeah,
and
no,
he's an
no.
ISP officer.
I'm not saying that that's irrelevant, but to me, it's far fetched. And to me,
Okay,
everything related to the Odinism or Odinist angle is just the
right.
wrong way to go in this case. Really,
Well, just
if people here
well,
are trying to help Richard Allen for some reason, because the due process was not
only
respected, because that's a failure. That theory, that angle is designed to fail, in my
no.
opinion.
I don't think so.
We
It failed because Gull wouldn't allow anything in. Now, what happened was, after he was flagged holder, the Roland Purdy and Lori Lourdes, the two police officers, went to speak to Holder again later on, and he told them that he walks through the woods and listens to the branches, and he listens for Odin to speak to him through the branches. After he was cleared and flagged, they went back and he said that to them. Isn't that a bit alarming?
I found more alarming everything related to the Klein situation.
Wow.
To me, I put the Kleins on 99% of the category of something possible or plausible, and the Odin's angle really in a low level of the bucket. Is the wrong way to go, in my opinion. Again, I know that a lot of you disagree, but that angle is never gonna be successful here. Even I put a parallel or just to compare here. Shivi, you go out to take a walk, and you find a bag full of money, $1 million in that bag. You come home. What are you gonna tell your mother? How did you find that money?
You'd probably call the police.
Or whatever. No one is gonna buy that statement that you found the money on the streets. No one is gonna buy it.
Well, that would be a big.
No one is gonna buy it because even if it's true, even if that's the truth, forget about it. It's designed to fail. You can't say, I robbed a bank, or the bank made me a loan, something like that. And your mother are gonna believe, okay, maybe I can buy that. Okay, but
the one problem with this story would be is maybe you should say $10,000, because if you found $1 million, it would probably be the size of a skid of boxes. It would be huge. So maybe 10,000 would be good.
Yeah, let's say that. Anyways, that's my point. I understand why people believes in that Odin's theory, but to me, it's just designed to fail. And
I agree.
The fact that the defense was so focused in that theory, and they were not that interested in the Kleins or in the Rogan's angle, that's why, in my opinion, they didn't success. Because if they were trying to focus more in the Kleins or in the Logan angle, maybe they would be successful in finding a nexus or improving a nexus and to enter that discussion during the process. But they were just full Odinis, and sorry, you lost your time, in my opinion, again.
But okay, so I'll agree with you on the Odinist, but how about the guys involved with that? Elvis Fields. Now, in Purdy and Murphy said in their depositions, one of them said that 8 Unified Command officers, 8, like Jerry Holman, all the top guys, jumped into one van and went down to interrogate and investigate Elvis Fields and his family. They went to the house, and it was all 4 people were there, and 2 cops interviewed each of the 4. So 8 police officers went down to Rushville in one van to investigate Elvis Fields and his family, and then he wasn't at trial. What do you make of that? So forget about the Odin theory. This guy, Elvis Fields, had 8 police officers come to and talk to his family and him, and then he's not allowed to be at trial. I don't get
it. In the same sense, Keegan Klein, he made a videotaped confession about the crime, and he was not part of the crime. And he was the one behind the Anthony Shots account, and there's proof that he was contacting and communicating to Libby the day of the murder. So if you put Elvis Fields and Keegan Klein, the balance, and not because of the size of Keegan Klein, the balance is gonna go to the Keegan Klein's side, in my opinion.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's irrelevant, but when you compare one theory with another one, what is the most logical theory here? To me, it's the Kleins. That explains everything kind of easy. A nexus could be easily elaborated there if they were focused on the client's angle. And again,
Mhm.
there was a conflict of interest between the firm of Brad Rossi and the Richard Allen's defense. The associates of Brad Rossi were defending Ron Logan and Keegan Klein, and to me, that's why he didn't go hard into the Kleins and the Ron Logan's angle, and that's why he preferred to go with the Odinism theory, which is, to me, again, designed to fail. There's something fishy there. I'm with you in something. We despise. I don't know if you despise, but I despise the prosecution agents here. I despise
Yeah,
Jerry Holman. I
yeah.
despise Liggett, Mullin. Those guys are rotten. Hundred
Mhm.
percent with you. But
I'm
I don't,
100%
I
with you.
don't, I don't trust the defense attorneys at all. And to me, they were not representing properly Richard Allen. And the audience or the audience angle, to me, is something fishy. Is the wrong strategy. And if they are gonna use the same type of strategy to go with the appealing process, maybe the outcome is gonna be the same, in my opinion. Again,
Well,
but
I can agree
let's
with you about the Odin stuff. I can agree with you there, but Elvis Fields and Brad Holder should have been deeper investigated, in my opinion.
No, I agree. The investigation was crap. 100%. Everybody here should be investigated properly, and they were not. I
Like,
agree with you in that point. We are in the
imagine
same line.
im- imagine all the information that's in those lost interviews. Like, just think about what they must have said. Elvis Fields tripped up, I'm sure, and said stuff. I don't know why they're trying so hard to protect them. And Diener in Brad Holder's deposition was really simping hard to protect him. If you go listen to Holder's deposition, read it. Diener, the prosecution, was there on behalf of McClellan. She was asking questions and really protecting Brad Holders and coddling him and holding him, to get
Yeah.
him through that.
Let me just say hello to Peggy. Peggy, I was watching your live yesterday with Mark. I was in the replay. Great live. I listened like maybe 2 hours. I'm gonna try to finish it because it was really cool. Sorry for the interruption, Shivi.
No.
Coming back to your point about Elvis Fields, uh, what do you think? You were talking about protecting someone. What do you think,
Holder.
Holder? Okay, so do you think that they didn't go further with Elvis Fields to protect Holder, right? That's a
Well,
possibility in your opinion.
in my opinion, like why would Gull not allow Elvis Fields to be at trial? Because just think about this. 8 Unified Command officers felt it necessary to pile into one van and drive down to Rushville to interrogate and ask questions and interview all 4 members that were in that household of Mary Jacobs, and I think it was her husband and his daughter, whoever was there. 4 people got interviewed by 8 ISP officers, and then they talked to Elvis, and then Jerry Holman said that Mary Jacobs was quote crazy because Murphy said she had pill bottles all around. Yet Murphy and who was the other one? Purdy. They thought she both sounded lucid and sane and of right mind, so much so that they put her in a car, and Murphy and Purdy drove her to the police station where she had her polygraph test and passed with flying colors. So if she was crazy and talking to the wall, and wouldn't that be irresponsible of them to take her for a polygraph? Yeah,
No, and she passed the polygraph,
yeah.
if I understood properly. Look,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love to have Elvis Fields, Brad Holder, Keegan Klein, Ron Logan.
Mhm.
We couldn't because he died.
Yeah.
All of them testifying during the process, and
Right.
that's what is missing here. The lack of transparency is just bad. And yeah, man. And when you say why Elvis Fields was not allowed to testify, Well, I say why Keegan Klein was not allowed to testify, and maybe I can find uh, an answer when I talk about Keegan Klein, because we
Mhm.
know that there was a negotiation that was put on the table, and that was said by Jerry Holman. And I have also some information,
True.
anyway, about Keegan Klein himself. I have print screens talking about the negotiation. To me, a negotiation happened, but anyways, it's on the table. What's on the table when we talk about Elvis Fields? Anyways, again, I I would love to have all of them: Westphal, Holder, Elvis Fields, Keegan, Tony. We cannot have again Ron Logan, but all of them testifying. That would be
Mhm.
awesome. But even Reese Davis, that guy has a lot of information,
Yeah.
and some people are not giving him enough credit because he's someone being in prison since
Right.
forever, let's say. But what about the box cutter information he had
Exactly.
in 2017?
Yeah.
Some
Well,
information given to him by Ron Logan. You know what I mean?
if the state is going to insist on going with the box cutter angle, especially since the ME in his first two reports didn't say box cutter, but now if they're going to insist on going with it, then they have to insist on talking to the guy who a few months after mentioned a box cutter. You can't just
Exactly.
have the best of both worlds and just, I'll take this but ignore that. Oh, he's feigning, yet we need to give him Halidol forced injections. Like, that's what they've always done this whole trial. They want the best of both worlds with everything.
I agree. Fish is here. How are you, Fishy? Happy to have you here. You can call also if you want to join us. She has a
Mm,
great point here. What happened to the reward? We don't know anything about that, huh?
yeah. Fishy, call in, please.
Because that if we know what happened to the reward, I don't know if we are gonna ever know about that. We can have a lot of information about the motivation, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hey, Peggy too. We can get Fishy and Peggy
and
and go
Peggy,
up
of
like a
course,
double,
anyone. The,
double,
the the link is here for anyone who
yeah,
wants to call. As you
double
know,
date. We
of
can double
course,
date.
you can choose. All of them are awesome.
Oh, one last thing before, can I add, since we're talking to other people, that McCain guy, he seemed to get off pretty lightly, saying, I was there that day. And Betsy Blair said to Tony Liggett that she believed that car was his that she saw.
And I was watching a video today because it seems like the Dave McCain's situation. There's a like a, I don't know, a big fuzz, but that was discussed since forever. And I
Yeah.
was watching an old video that was made by True Crime Jesus. It's a video of
Mhm.
21 minutes.
I
It's
saw that.
it's called Tying It All Together. Do you
Mhm.
remember that video? And
I saw it. Yes.
he explains the whole Dave McCain theory
Mhm.
in an awesome way.
Yeah.
So
I remember. Do you want me to remind you what he said? They showed pictures, they showed video of him, and he's very artsy, eccentric, this Dave McCain, with the little berets on, and he looks like one of those art dealers. But what that guy said, True Crime Jesus, he mentioned about the trail, the heritage trail, and the funding, and how Dave McCain was interested in the bridge being restored and the whole trails system, being
exactly.
rebuilt, and the heritage, the owning the land, and possibly, Ron Logan's land being, acquired, and all of this, maybe those are possibilities. That's all.
I agree, and I don't want to talk bad about other
No,
creators,
no.
but it's just that I feel some creators, they pretend that they have the bombshells, and there's a lot of stuff that was said before, even with the
Mhm.
stupid things like this theory of Tobor, when he said that I picture um, Brad Weber listening to Metallica in the van.
Yeah, what does that have to do with it? Right?
And there's another creator like, when I see Brad Weber, I can picture him listening to Metallica. Come on, can you be more genuine,
Right.
more transparent? Come on, give the credit to the people who deserve
Hey,
credit.
I'll give you some credit here. Let's talk about Peggy O. When I was on her channel, we were talking all about the whole valley system. There was major floods there, and that whole, like, when there's floods, that whole area. So the property in Ron Logan's property is right on a red line of where it's in a high risk area. So the insurance would be way higher, and the flood actually changed the where the creek went. So it would be on different people's properties and their property values and their insurance assessments. So that was a big deal. And even Meow Zedong had a great video on all that, the whole flooding aspect of the area.
I didn't get it.
You mean like that valley, when there's a flood there, a major flood, it would be like, did you remember seeing the flood a couple of last summer in Texas, or this summer?
Yeah. No, Texas, I understand, but I don't see the relationship between that and the case.
Well, if it changes the trajectory of the creek, if a creek runs on your property, it would probably be more valuable. And if you're in a flood zone, then there's whole insurance problems. So that people would want to either acquire people's properties, and then the McCains possibly, this is just an angle, them wanting to have that and have it for the trail system, would possibly maybe want to then afterwards, if there wasn't so much heat on them now, purchase with all that extra money they had for the trail system, possibly acquire Logan's properties.
Okay.
So the whole flood thing was all related, I think.
No, it's interesting. It's an interesting angle. And again, for the people in the chat, if you remember the great creator, True Crime Jesus, go watch that video he made about the McCains. It's called tying it all up together, something like that. It's a great a great video to watch.
That video covers a lot of the McCains being related with the heritage system and the trail system and redoing the bridge and all that. But also, if you watch the Meow Zedong video, find the one, I don't know the name, but Meow Zedong's channel has it, where she's talking about the Deer Creek flooding, and it's really interesting because there was a major floods there, and then there was lots of money given and FEMA. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is 100%. I was thinking those days about the bullet, and what do you think is the significance of the bullet that was found between the girls? I want to hear what is your opinion about that.
My opinion about the bullet is, I guess we'll never really know, because I mean, if they insist that the bullet was found, right? But this whole ballistics and tool mark, on every page, go look at that report. It has a disclaimer, like a warning disclaimer, saying that this is subjective opinions. So for everyone to understand, Melissa Oberg cannot be wrong, because this is her subjective opinion. She takes the science of it into her eyeballs, and then the little hamster runs in a wheel in her head, and she spits out her opinion. So it's no longer a science; it's her opinion. That's
I agree. I'm not trying to ask you if or maybe, but let's say forget about the bullet matching Richard Allen's gun, because I agree with you. There's no science there. I agree, but the fact, if we can trust the fact, is that there was a bullet between the two girls. Okay. What do you think is happening there?
Well,
why there's a bullet between them? Is something accidental? Is something on purpose? Go ahead.
I'll say this. Let me say this. Picture you're doing that in the middle of the day, and you're intentionally racking a gun to scare people. You're going to see it, like in the middle of the day, a shiny brass bullet is going to pop out, and you see it. You know you're doing it. You wouldn't leave your bullet at a crime scene, especially after doing that. So you would pick it up and put it in your pocket. So if anything, that's what the person did, and it fell out of their pocket. But I can't see anyone doing that to scare somebody and then leaving that there as evidence, because that would be ridiculous. Just like leaving the phone there is ridiculous. It's all ridiculous.
Okay, if that was not the case, that means that someone put the bullet there, right? The killer, let's say. If the killer
I don't
put
know.
intentionally the bullet there, what is the significance of that situation there?
I have
That
no
act?
idea. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we can trust these guys with anything. So I'm not sure.
But try to put yourself in the mind of the killer, as the guy in the video was saying. You're the
Like,
killer. You have two bodies there, and you decide to put a bullet in between.
leaving it there intentionally?
Yeah,
Well, they would never do that, because that's like,
because we are
you
not
would
serial
think,
killers. We are not killers. That's why.
why would it would be like, well, I mean, I would picture, I wouldn't, if I were doing something, I wouldn't leave something that I would leave a signature that they couldn't trace back to me. Like the happy face guy would write a happy, you wouldn't leave something that, it's like leaving your partial print, your fingerprint. Like, it's like saying, ooh, I'm going to tease them with my fingerprint. You wouldn't do that.
I agree. I was just trying to understand that, and I was thinking maybe it's a message for the families, let's say, okay, or for the I don't know.
Well, if you did that, maybe you would get like you wouldn't run it through your gun. You know what I'm saying? You would have a fresh bullet in your pocket.
Exactly. That's what I mean. If you have a fresh bullet and you put the bullet
and you'd wear gloves.
With gloves, let's say.
Yeah.
And that could be like a message for the families. Hey, if you continue messing with us, we're gonna kill one of you or something like that. I don't know. I was thinking about that, and I said, what can be the significance of the bullet? To me, like threatening the families could be an option or an explanation, but just messing myself with my mind,
No, it's good to think, but it also, if the killer was thinking that far ahead, they would have maybe scratched, for example, Mike Patty's name or Derek's name on it and left it there, but not cycled it through their dang gun or touched it with their damn hands. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you in that angle. The Dragons then says Paul is a smart man. I think so. I agree. Just because we don't agree with some people, it doesn't mean that they are not smart. To me, it's smart. I don't know. I'm trying to scroll down.
Fishy, call in.
Yeah, come on, Fishy. We miss you.
I command you.
Yeah.
We'll put our worms on the hook. Come on, take a bite, Fishy.
Shiv is waiting for you. Me too. Come on.
And Heather Brown is here. Hello, Hebby. Welcome.
Yeah. Sunflower, Big Fishy, of course. You know that I don't know why YouTube changed the way to read your names, the handles.
I know why.
Why?
I can tell you. Well, because it's impossible to impersonate people, because, well, not impossible, but it makes it harder because those are very specific. Like you have to have.
Okay. Interesting. Telvani, have you done any more research on the West Memphis Three? Last time you were on the fence as to their guilt. No, actually, I was on the fence as to their innocence. And yes, I'm still trying to do a little bit more of research about that. But yes, I'm on the fence towards the innocence.
Can you do me a favor? Can you highlight Eve's comment? Because yes, it's so funny. Her eggplant. It's so funny. One time we were just saying hi to each other, and she accidentally threw the eggplant up. So now I get the eggplant, and I just want you to know I love it. But I didn't do that first. I just want everyone to know Eve eggplanted me first with that little emoji, and I love it. But now that's like our calling card for each other. So that's cool. Hello, Eve. Yes, it's me, Shibby.
Eve, Okay, Finn is saying, is that Chibi on? Yes, it's Chibi. I'm trying
Yes.
to look for the. Okay, is this one? True Crime with Eve, you mean?
Yeah,
Eve?
true crime and the eggplant with the exclamation eggplant. Ooh.
Is before or after this comment?
I don't know.
There's a lot
There.
of comments. I was so late with the
It's okay.
comments.
It's okay. Just
Um,
everyone know that I didn't do that first, but I love it because it was an accidental emoji, and now we're kind of just going with it. It's super funny. That's all.
cool. Okay. And I'm gonna say sorry to Eve because I was supposed to work with Eve in the Michael Vaughan's case, but I didn't have time to. Actually, she's the subject expert matter in that case, and I was supposed to have Eve here to give us a little bit of eh, input about that case, but I was really busy during my vacations in the good way, let's say.
Well,
And
yeah, that's
now
good.
I'm gonna start working next week, so it's gonna be harder. But anyways,
Oh
I
yeah.
love I love
How,
Eve. Yeah, tell
how
me.
did that go? You went away. You just got to see your mom or something. How'd that go? Went good.
Yeah, my parents, my family. I went to
Awesome.
Colombia for 2 weeks.
Ooh, how
This
was it?
week I'm still here in Montreal on vacations, but next
Mm,
week I start working again.
right on.
Oh man, yeah,
Well, hey, plan some stuff. We got all these superstars here. We got Eve and Peggy and Fishy and Fiend, and I see in this crowd here, V and Dino and Criminal Network and Heather Brown. Wow, we could have quite the panel here.
yeah, a lot. And sorry guys in the chat, I'm not very how can I say into the chat. I'm a little bit distracted talking to Shibi, so
Yeah.
sorry for
Well,
that.
I'll tell you, I've been trying to do some shows, and I'm going to try to plan more because it's like I plan, but then I kind of get on and wing it, you know, and I
Yeah,
kind of, look silly scrambling around. When I find something I want to do, I'm good, but I should prepare more. So if anybody ever does watch me, I promise I will prepare, and it can only get better on my show. So please tune in.
yeah, sure, man. Uh, so what else? I don't know, man. Come
I
on,
think we
let's
covered
try
a lot.
again with you have to use your superpowers
Okay.
to have Eve, to have Peggy, Finn, or Fishy, or
Wow.
anyone who wants to call and talk to us. You are welcome, guys.
I
And
think I sense that Fishy's going to make a big entry back because she's had a little time off, and I just see her comments, and she's just she seems fired up sometimes. So Fishy, you gotta call in. Oh my gosh, look at that! She said drop the link.
oh wow, cool. Fishy is gonna
OMG,
sing. You know what I mean?
OMG! I'm so
Okay.
nervous. What do I do?
Yeah, I don't know, man. You're the boss tonight.
She says drop the link. She wants to
Yeah,
call in. Oh my god.
the link is there. And
OMG.
we lost Mustang because I don't know what's happening between you and Mustang Shibi.
Oh, she hates me. I
Why?
blocked
What's
her.
going on?
Well, I gave her 50 chances on my channel, and she kept going and almost blowing up chat and ruining things. I had her as a moderator. I really tried. She was trying, but I couldn't. She just kept doing what she was doing there. So I ended up just blocking her from my channel. I took her wrench and blocked her, and I gave her 5 warnings, more than 3 that I usually would give. I really tried. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sometimes we become too passionate about this case. I guess I
Well,
don't know, man.
I wasn't like we had a fight. I was just telling her when she was on my channel not to blow up the chat and do what she did and start all this stuff. So I took her wrench and blocked her from my channel. It's that simple. I'm not mad at her. I just, if she were to stop doing that, I didn't want to do that, but it was ruining chat, like literally ruining the chat and making people fight. And
Yeah, I understand your point.
it wasn't because I disagreed with her or something. It was because it was literally disrupting. And after 3 or 4 warnings, they still weren't stopping. That's all I did. I begged her.
Yeah,
That's
no,
her.
no, I know. and Eve is giving me 21 days to reach out to her.
Ooh.
So
Oh no, man.
yeah, it's like the final countdown for me. You know what I mean? No, I
Wow.
really want to investigate or to dig into that case. I'm very interested, and she has a lot of knowledge about it. So
Man,
it's
if
gonna
she were to give
happen.
me if she gave me an ultimatum, I'd be calling in 21 minutes. Wow, 21 days, dude, get on
No,
that.
she's nice. She's nice, man.
She's awesome. Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, 21
Yep.
days. I still have
I
some time.
I could use to branch out too, because I mean, I think I don't want to beat this whole Delphi thing, but there's so much to talk about. I enjoy it, and every time I read these old documents, it's I literally learn something new, and I've read them or had them read to me 10 times. So it's really wild.
Yeah, it is. So, and tell us about your channel. What's happening there? Are you gonna have some guests, or what's the
I'm going to
idea?
try. I don't know. I'm just learning how to make thumbnails that aren't so weird. And I was just enjoying, I think for myself, I enjoy maybe like I like reading these documents, but then stopping and pondering and talking with people, and then, you know, just freeballing and throwing ideas off each other and learning new things and maybe changing my mind on a few things, or, but that's all. I mean, I like the plan shows better. I just don't, I'm trying to get better. That's all. So
Ha,
far, I'm kind of just reading.
have you changed your mind somehow?
Well, not really changed my mind, because it'll always be a non-fair trial and a flawed. So how can we judge anything with this trial and all these? They're saying they can't have third parties, yet all these other people are so involved. There's like
We have.
four or five other guys.
Wait, Shivi, wait a
Ooh,
second because Fishy is gonna sing right now.
go ahead, Fishy.
We cannot hear you well, Fishy. Your volume is very low. I cannot hear Fishy.
I don't hear neither.
No. Okay,
Uh-oh.
I guess she's gonna call again.
Ooh, let's try it. Reel it in. I'm going to reel the line in, and we're going to cast it out again, like we're fishing. So I throw the worm out, and let's see if she bites. Let's see.
Oh, she's gonna call again for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Uh, we all have some technical problems
Hmm.
from time to time, for sure.
So until she comes back, yeah, with the whole process, I mean, I haven't changed my mind. It's just the investigation was flawed. There's like way too much exculpatory evidence that's been left out, or not collected, or destroyed, or lost, or just not excluded and not allowed. And I mean, it's just absurd to me that the defense. So forget the whole Odin thing. All the people that they wanted to bring in and ideas, I can't see how they're blocked doing that. That's all.
Yeah, no, for sure. And regardless of that, I know and I understand your point, and I'm with you on that point for sure. He didn't have a due process, but
No,
do you see something in the depositions, in the testimonies, that makes you think that Richard Allen may be involved? Some
no,
weird something that, oh man, this is weird. So, this is kind of,
no,
or not at all.
not at all. I don't see anything. Could you point me to something that you think is the most, um, what is the biggest thing they got against Richard Allen? And I will.
Give me 1 second because my dog is
Sure,
just crazy.
sure,
Just one
yep,
second here.
no problem. So Fishy said she's going to call in with her laptop. So let's see.
Yeah. No. Again, it's we tend to say that, let's say, when we talk about the prosecution, they
Mhm.
say, we don't have a direct evidence here, guys. When they were talking to the jurors, we don't have a direct evidence, but you have to see the totality of the elements that we are presenting here. Uh, when you see that totality, there's something that makes you think, oh, maybe aspect is fishy, this aspect is weird. Let's say just one simple example which means nothing, but what do you think about this? When Kathy Allen was interviewed, uh, she said something in this sense. Um, I told Rick uh, to help me or to go with me to help with the search, but he said, "Ah, no, because that's gonna make us suspicious." And to me, this is weird. There are
Right.
some things that. Why did he say that? You know what I mean?
Well,
At that
I'll,
time, the girls were just missing. They were not there was not
now,
information about the girls being killed. So there are some statements that uh, is weird. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that
okay.
because of that he's guilty, but
No,
at
no.
least you,
But
you don't you don't feel anything weirder or anything
no,
like
but
that.
okay, so when did she say this? Is this after 5 years? I mean, I don't think we should hold it upon the defendant after 5 years. They're going to get things wrong. The law enforcement had this man come to him 2 days afterwards and give them all the whole statement. And he was the white man. He said, "I'm a white man. I live on White Man Drive." And if Doolin accidentally wrote down that his surname is White Man, he said to Doolin that I was on the bridge. And
No,
then we
do
can't, and he offered him his IMEI number. He offered him his phone. He would have let him measure his little wiener if he wanted. I'm sure he was trying to help. And then they cleared him. They cleared him. They didn't
yeah,
lose that tip. They cleared him.
exactly.
And
No,
I
the
can tell you.
investigation. Yeah, go ahead.
So to hold it on Kathy and them 5 years later for maybe making this or not having the same phone, or I can't do that because LE dropped the ball there. And another thing, to think that they had such a clear photo of this car and there's only one damn black Ford Focus parked a mile away for 5 years, and they can't find this damn car. No, they found it and they weren't looking for it because they cleared him. It has to be because it was parked a mile away. It was parked in front of CVS for how long? And the police station's right nearby. They didn't have trouble finding us. They
Yeah,
cleared them.
no. It's the investigation was a mess. I don't know what was the whole situation with the Dan Doolin's. Uh,
I got an opinion on that too. You want to hear it? Because Doolin.
my
Now, do we
God.
believe that Doolin went into Unified Command every single day? Imagine those 5 years. He's walking every time he sees that poster or that photo. Every day he walks in, it's on the door, and he goes to buy milk and eggs at the store, and it's on the door there. Dan Doolin walked for 5 years, had a white man come and talk to him 2 days after, and didn't mention anything. And now, after all this blows over, what's happened with Dan Doolin? He's been promoted to captain. Dan Doolin had the most epic screw up in Department of Natural Resources history, and he's now the fucking captain. Excuse my language.
And
Make that make sense.
there's a sequence of events like that. Uh, Josh Rossi, the brother of Bradley Rossi, after allegedly or potentially not going to collect or losing the video of the marathon gas station, he got promoted. Jerry Holman, he got promoted after that shitty investigation. Doug Carter is
Mullins,
full of medals. So, hello, Fishy.
Mullins.
All of them.
Ooh.
Fishy, how are you? Fishy, we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me
Again.
now?
Yes, now, yes.
Ooh, there she is.
Happy to have you here again.
I'm good. Can you hear me though?
Yeah, cool to have you here.
Ooh.
What
One more
the?
time. Tell us anything about the case, about you. Shibi was in the need of having Fishy tonight, so me too. Glad to have you
Cool.
here.
Okay, so you guys talked me into it. Better make it good. Just kidding.
Any opinion about the video we played today or about the conversation I
Oh
was
no,
having
now I
with
can't hear
Fishy,
you.
with
What
Shibi?
did I do?
Fishy's rusty here. She needs to dust this off and get back in this.
She needs a couple of whiskeys.
Yeah.
There's something going on with her computer.
Okay, I could
She's a
hear you now. I think if you guys can still hear me, then we should be good.
I hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Awesome. So, like, I know it took me forever to call in, so you guys are totally talking about different stuff now. But like, if we could go back to the bullet, I just really have huge issues with that bullet because one, there's like other bullets in that area because I guess people hunt there, and there was like a hunting stand right in that general area as well. So it's like, how many bullets were like around that area total? Like, did they look for the bullets elsewhere? And also, that bullet is like a totally different brand um than the one in like the keepsake box. So that's weird, you know?
Well, I'll add something. First of all, Fishy, it's a pleasure meeting you. First time talking to you. And second of all, yeah, I'd love to let them take a metal detector around that area. There's probably thousands of bullets out there. So
I don't know about thousands, but I do know it's just
well,
like it's ballistics based on like even when you fire a weapon is based off of like not so solid of a foundation of science, let alone just like cycling it through. Like, I don't think that there is much evidence on that at all. And then you take it that they couldn't replicate it by cycling it through, which I have a problem with that. So then they fire it, which is like a completely different, like, I mean, not completely different. It's still.
we lost her.
I think we lost her.
I'll continue on with that until she comes back. Yeah, because the whole ballistics thing, I think people get distracted by it. It's science, right? But it starts as scientific, but then it's a subjective opinion. It goes into her eyes and into her head, and she thinks about it, Oberg, and then she gives her opinion. So it's literally correct. Like literally, she can't be wrong because it's based. Every page says it's based on the ballistics person, which is Oberg. It's based on her subjective opinion. So I think people they take that for as the gospel too much. They give too much credence to it because if she could replicate that or prove that she's getting 100% correct, I would be a lot different. But they don't. All they do is they train her and they choose her and then they trust her opinion. So that's the problem with me for ballistics.
Yeah, great point. And when we talk about the bullet, I always think about hunting. And again, my first reflex here is to think about the clients. And it's far-fetched, I know, but I was watching a video that was made by Anthony Green with Michael Katz, and they were exploring the area from the bridge to the cemetery, the private drive. It's a great video in terms of the perspective of the area. And when they cross the bridge, and right in front of the bridge, there's a tree, and I don't remember what's the name of this device, if we can call it like that. It's like a chair at the top of the tree.
I know.
Yeah,
A deer hunting stand. It's a deer hunting tent thing. Yeah.
Exactly, a deer hunting stand. And it crossed my mind if maybe someone was there, like observing the area, communicating with communicating with Bridge guy, And I know that Tony Klein was a hunter, so when I do that type of I don't know, connections, maybe it's far-fetched, but it's interesting that there's a deer, how can you call it, deer stand, deer hunt,
deer stand, a hunting stand. Yep.
hunting stand could
So
be
first of all,
part of the whole crime scenario here. I don't know. It's interesting
Sure,
that
you
it's
never-
right there at the end of the bridge.
yeah, there could be a creeper sitting in there, massaging himself while watching women walk by. But first, Fishy said that her internet is being a problem, so she probably won't be calling back in. So, Fishy, you have a chance to redeem yourself on maybe my show later. I'll go live and I will send the link. And Fishy, get your shit together, and I'll let you call into my show and make this all better. Okay? You got 2 Canadian hotties here. Cryptex is in Montreal, and I'm near Toronto. You got 2 Canadian Silver Fox hotties here, dying to talk to you. You're gonna call in later. Okay, that's all.
Sure. But actually, I don't have too much time. Shibi, I really I need to end the streaming soon. Maybe we can do something in your channel
I would
soon,
love to, sure.
or here again.
Yep.
And thank you so much for being here. It was cool to have that conversation with you. Sad that Fishy couldn't be here. Thank you all of you guys for being here. Sorry for being a little bit distracted. I know that there was a lot of comments. Please hit the like, comment in the comment section, and subscribe to Shivi. Great channel.
Yeah,
great.
I'm awesome.
Great folk here, guys. So thank you so much, all of you, and thank you, Shivi, again.
Awesome. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Stay in touch. Ciao.
Yep. Bye.